Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yo, what's good, original crew, man? We're back, baby.
Back, baby. Sorry.
With more of the trial, man. Hey, we got the boy Diddy. Diddy do it? Word on the street, we don't know. So what you leaning into? Like last video, I said, I don't know. I feel like it can be a hung jury, right? You didn't say. You didn't give your.
I did. I said it could be 50-50.
You did. Not on camera. You
yes,
didn't say.
Did.
No, you didn't.
Oh.
No, you didn't. You never
well,
did.
I feel like it could be 50-50. Only being, like I said.
I'm saying at this point now, you still like possible hung jury, or are you leaning more to guilty verdict, hung jury, or innocent?
Okay, the first video, I was like 50-50. I didn't have a lot of info. I was like, what's what? Trying to still figure some things out. Again, like I stated before, I feel like it'll either go either way depending on if they able to decipher like, okay, this is the case we here for, opposed to everything else that's being brought up. But I'm more so leaning towards guilty. Only from with everything that's been, and if people can't
understand
that we here for
process.
This type of case, but although all of this other stuff is being brought up that has nothing to do with the case,
or how does it involve,
or how does it tie in, and
is one crucial thing that
what?
I feel like if you really are trying to find out who all has immunity,
and that as well,
because it is starting to show up that certain people have immunity. And it's showing from their involvement, right? Mm-hmm. So now I'm wondering who all has immunity and immunity for what? You know what I'm saying? Because if certain people got immunity, then it's looking like what? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so the case, I don't know. It's a whole mess.
I was like 50-50. Now I'm kind of like maybe they.
I can see him going guilty,
maybe,
but
guilty.
I can still see it being a hung jury after hearing like the display of the jury as well.
Okay, yeah.
Seeing how the jury is made up, I can also see it being a hung jury.
Yeah.
So I don't
know. We'll see how it plays out. But yeah.
Yeah. But hey, make sure y'all check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. You got to do a check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals.
Like it in with a thumbs up.
And again, like I stated in the previous video, I've watched news outlets. I have watched commentating from multiple different channels. The ones that y'all are requesting, watching them in private. Like, as far as this information, I'm just getting the info. Because it's a lot. So I'm getting it on my own time. But I have been watching everything. She's been watching more lately, but I've been watching everything. Again, like details, because not everybody is laying out the same detailed information. So you might be listening
presenting the information the same.
So you might be hearing it from one platform, and another platform might be telling it in more detail than the other one. Yeah. So it's certain things are being left out. And we've seen Cudi car.
Yeah.
And it honestly, it don't look as bad as what I've always have imagined it of being.
Yeah, I imagine this car. Boom.
You know, like if you ever seen like Waiting to Exhale, when she came out and burnt the man car up, and all his stuff was in the car. I'm thinking it's that type of fire.
But I was like,
that little spark. Like, but it is destroying his property.
His property, yeah.
But I'm
not
thinking
taking away from that.
I'm thinking Hollywood explosion. I'm thinking. And
I was real dramatic with it. You know, I already got this imagination.
Yeah, let's go.
Prosecutors say Combs was so upset about that relationship, he had Cudi's convertible blown up by a fireball.
See how she said blown up?
Like when they say blown up, it's not blown up, bro. Boom. It was like the seats was a little burnt,
and like
the sunroof, the soft top. Once you, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money
to get repaired or replaced.
That's a lot of money.
And the seats, it's a lot of money. I'm not downplaying it, but when they say,
I just imagine something different. But you still destroy someone's property.
It was still drivable all the way.
bomb.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're detailing all the shocking revelations and occurrences from the second week of Sean Diddy Combs' ongoing trafficking trial. Warning, certain information contains distressing details.
4 witnesses took the stand yesterday, including a male escort who said he participated in Combs' so-called freak-offs.
Dawn Richards' testimony.
Richard spoke about different times that she witnessed Combs allegedly attacking his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura over the years.
During the second week of the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs, former Danity Kane member Dawn Richard returned to the witness stand and provided further testimony regarding an alleged 2009 incident where she says she witnessed Combs attacking his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and attempted to strike her with a skillet containing eggs. Richard described Combs as being, quote, frequently violent toward Cassie, and testified that she feared for her own safety. I was scared for her. I was scared to do anything. She purports Combs carried a handgun, but never saw him brandish or shoot it. The defense challenged.
So on that part, is it illegal to carry a firearm?
No.
Like in our state of Tennessee, it is legal to carry a firearm even if you don't have a permit. You don't have to have a permit. You can carry a gun as long as it's concealed. Sounds like he's concealing it, right? But I know in the state of New York, you can't different. It's illegal to carry a firearm.
Yeah,
but we also are not put in a place where
this was the place, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, and it might not have
and
it on
maybe
his
somebody
person.
got one time. One, you're not about to be whooping on nobody in front of me.
We ain't gotta go, but you go.
Nothing.
No, you go. I'm not trying to. I was just talking about on that point, but I'm not trying to.
Well, I was talking about because she just mentioned that, but we can go. Let's go.
But also, didn't they say that she didn't visibly see it?
I don't know.
Didn't she say she heard, but didn't see? You like, I don't know that detail. I
mean, I know, but I don't know.
But you say she got one time to what? Just
Nothing.
say.
Reports Combs carried a handgun, but never saw him brandish or shoot it. The defense challenged her memory of the 2009 skillet incident, with Richard replying that she was recounting events to the best of her recollection.
Said you've met with government prosecutors 8 times over the last year and a half. And over the course of those 8 meetings, you've changed your story at least 4 times when it comes to multiple incidents.
When asked about the motivation behind her own personal lawsuit against Diddy, she denied pursuing financial gain, rather compensation for her work.
Yeah, that's financial gain.
And compensation for what work? Are you not crediting on songs? Or are you not getting like your publishing? Are we talking about publishing? That's totally different. My thing is when it comes down to that side, as soon as you sign it, right?
One thing with her with this whole situation, is the fact that you said you fear for your life. I'm not coming back around you. I'm not working with you. I'm not doing no music with you. I'm not doing it. Like, I can't trust you. I don't care. Like, hey, I apologize for whatever I did. Cool. Apology accepted, but I'm good. I'm distance. But the fact that she was on his latest project, the fact that she was on his latest project just kind of like
when did that come out? When did that come out?
2023.
And when did Cassie leave?
I don't know. What,
2018? So Cassie can leave, why you can't leave? Why you can't stop working with them? Yeah,
like I don't want to be associated with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around you. I don't want, I'm good. Like, I accept your apology, cool, but from a distance.
And I'll say this, I don't know when the record was originally.
Yeah, I don't know that information.
But also, I would have told my publisher, I don't want to clear the record. I don't want to clear my vocals. You can take me off the track and you can give it to somebody else, and because I don't want to be associated.
That's the option as well. But yeah. that's the thing, right? We don't know when the record was recorded and all that.
Also, I don't know when the record was recorded. I recorded the record. Even if I recorded the record before back in the day, I could still have my people say not to clear that verse, take me off the verse because it's not out yet. Yeah. So I can still remove myself, like you said, from the situation.
Right.
And personally, me, I feel like if you always had this and seen things and you weren't comfortable with him, you have already removed it.
But then I will also say, in that sense, then she probably wouldn't have done it, only because now you said you want to be paid for your work. You want to be compensated for your work. So So if it's all about getting a dollar, then
It's all about getting
by
$1.
any means necessary, huh?
That's what it is. And honestly, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of legal lawsuits that's come out after this.
Yeah.
And it's not because of you know, like they always say, like a hitman, like people try to take advantage of people that's already down.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's gonna happen is once people, and I'm not trying to victimize Diddy at all, so please don't refer to that.
Oh, not at all.
But once people see that he's down, then they will like, oh, I'm finna take advantage of an opportunity to get my check too. And I think that's what a lot of people are trying to do. They're trying to see this through, and then they're gonna jump on the bandwagon of trying to sue and trying to get money. You know, like I guess they think he has an abundance of money, and he might not have. We really don't know.
It's unfortunate that Ms. Richard has cast their 20-year friendship aside to try to get money from him. But Mr. Combs is confidently standing on truth.
Cassie's former friend takes the stand.
One witness who testified today was Kerry Morgan, Ventura's best friend of 17 years. She was friends with Ventura before she started dating Combs and throughout most of their relationship.
Cassie Ventura's former friend, Kerry Morgan, detailed a long history of alleged abuse from Diddy that she claims to have witnessed firsthand. Morgan testified to witnessing several violent incidents. One in Los Angeles, where she said she saw Combs push and possibly hit Cassie, and another in Jamaica. It's there that Morgan says she heard, quote, guttural, terrifying screams before seeing Diddy dragging Ventura. Morgan alleges that she and Combs chased after Cassie in golf carts when she fled. Morgan says she found Ventura first, and the two hid in a ditch.
Ventura got up and ran into the woods, and Morgan eventually found Ventura, and they were hiding in a ditch while Combs and another friend was looking for them.
She further testified about being assaulted by Diddy herself.
You said what?
I said all them sketches be taking me out.
Yeah, I'm my bad, y'all. If y'all heard me snicker, I was laughing at Diddy's sketch because I'm like,
every time I see a sketch, I be like,
that lip was like.
Alleging the music mogul struck her with a coat hanger during a confrontation.
Well, there's also evidence that he beat both of them, one of them with a coat hanger. This is certainly not useful evidence for a defendant who is attempting to undermine these questions of whether he used force, fraud, or coercion to get people to go along with his behavior.
She states that Combs later paid her $30,000 to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Morgan also revealed that Combs was jealous of Cassie spending time with actor Michael B. Jordan and often accused...
Oh, so that's where that information came out. Because I was wondering, I was like, where the Michael B. Jordan situation falls into? Like, and now that makes sense of that information. Because I didn't really get the details of the Michael B. Jordan part coming about. And like I said, that's the reason why you have to listen to multiple sources. Because even if, like, I haven't, like, one person I'm listening to, I haven't got to that part of their videos. Yeah. But I know I have listened to other people talk about the friend coming to testify, and I didn't know the means of social media talking about.
The name was brought up, but you didn't know, like, where he tied in at.
Honestly, only way I knew Michael B. Jordan name was brought up because of social media. People talking about, what the hell, Michael B. Jordan? But I didn't know no details because nobody was truly reporting on everything. And totality.
On Redirect, Morgan clarified that the alleged attack in Jamaica was not jealousy related, but instead a dispute over how long Ventura was caking in the bathroom.
On cross-examination, the defense didn't even try to challenge her account, instead focused on times she witnessed Combs being loving with Cassie Ventura.
Diddy's former assistant talks.
They need employees. They need people that worked for Combs that were allegedly carrying out illegal activity at his behest.
David James, a former assistant to Sean Diddy Combs, testified about his experiences while working for the music mogul between 2007 and 2009.
James delivered compelling and at times emotional testimony yesterday, giving jurors an inside look at Combs' luxurious lifestyle with ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and their rocky relationship.
James recalled an early conversation with Cassie Ventura where he suggested she leave him, and she responded, quote, I can't get out. James confirmed he was regularly tasked with setting up hotels.
I wonder what she mean by that, though. Because that can be interpreted in multiple different ways. It's not like just one deliberately direction. And that's the only scope I'm trying to look at this is certain things can be taken in multiple different factions. It can be taken as, I can't, he won't allow me to. Because I think that's where a lot of people are looking at it from laser scope. Or I can't, I love him. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's easier said than done.
Yeah, because I love him. I don't want to. I want to be with him. Or could be on the lens and scope of, because she did testify, said that she, like, when she did with her lawsuit, she wanted to be compensated.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been a situation of, I want him to take care of me type of situation. So we really don't know what lens and scope she was saying it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why, like, if we're talking about what he's on trial for, trying to pinpoint and paint a picture of a domestic relationship as far as a forceful act, because it doesn't seem, for hearing from the escorts, that there was any true abuse for that action. Nobody is attesting that there was abuse for the FOs, the freak offs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, I do know it was one did come on the stand and said he did hear something. Because you got people who's painting the picture as if they're seeing, then it's also like you're hearing. You don't know what's really going on. Mm-hmm. So it's like, did you visibly see her strike her? Him strike her. And he's like, I assume.
I heard things, so I assumed that that's what was going on, but...
Yeah.
Even though we know things were going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess they're trying to validate, like... I don't know. This case is very confusing, and it hasn't been stuck directly to the facts. And I think that's one other reason why it's so confusing. Because it's not a heavy, like, fact. Like, we got all these facts, we got all this evidence proof. Is we're having to get people to come and tell things that's over 10 years old.
And how they remember it.
And, like, you know how we always say, like from, like, viewing a lot of body cam and a lot of, like, criminal investigation, sometimes the mind paints the picture that they really didn't, you know what I'm saying? Over time, you think you saw something. And that's the reason why eyewitness testimony is not as strong as it used to be. Because over time we have learned that, especially over years, you see something some way, and then somebody be like, no, that actually didn't happen. It was this way. And you were like, no, but I remember it this way. It's because your mind is trying to process and fill in blanks that actually wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know how you always used to be like, just an example of the dogs. It's like, we had these dogs, and you told me about all these dogs growing up, and then you asked your dad to confirm it.
It was 2 dogs.
You asked your dad to confirm it. Your dad was like, "No, baby, I didn't."
Well, he said the dogs did exist, but
he did say they did exist, but they
weren't his.
Yeah,
and I remember them being his because I used to play with them.
And you catch my gist.
And I remember them how they passed,
and
they didn't pass.
But also, your mind is filling in things that wasn't there.
But they did pass, but not like I remembered it. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so.
But I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, I will say 100%. Do I believe she went through abuse while in a relationship with him? Most definitely. Is she the only one that went through abuse? No, I think all his women went through abuse. I think he's a very abusive person when it comes down to that. But that's a whole totally separate, different situation, I feel.
Yeah, than what he's supposed to be on trial for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and he's a very
evil,
ugly person. A lot of people don't like him personality.
Most definitely.
But a lot of people do look up to him because they say he's a great businessman. You got to also hear people.
And that's the thing. Like, you can still hold somebody accountable for their actions and call them out on their BS. But still be like, I'm not taking away everything that you put in to get where you at. But you're still a monster. You're still an evil person. Because
a lot of people still hold value to him. They like, hey, a lot of values I received from him, like, I still use to this day. Yeah. Because he taught me a lot.
And that's cool. Like, kudos to that. But we still can't, and if y'all been here, y'all know how I feel about him. But I won't take away from everything else, but whatever.
I can't get out. James confirmed he was regularly tasked with setting up hotel rooms for the couple's freak-offs, which involved a bag containing pill bottles and personal items like lubricant and baby oil. He says he...
You said what?
I said nothing.
No, what'd you say?
Nothing.
No, say it.
I said in an Astroglide. If I hear Astroglide one more time, at this point, honey.
She like, well, at this point, I'm gonna have to go see what it is.
Astroglide. I went and looked it up. I said, oh.
He used cash from Combs's, quote, personal bag rather than seeking company reimbursement.
Remember, the government says that Combs was running his businesses and carrying out illegal activity.
James also described an incident that made him feel personally endangered. After picking up food from a diner and spotting Suge Knight, James said Combs demanded that he be driven to the diner, with Diddy sitting in the back seat with, quote, 3 handguns in his lap. James testified that the moment left him, quote, shook up. But when they arrived, Knight had left.
The assistant says he turns around, looks in the back seat, and Diddy has 3 handguns on his lap. That is what he testified today. They go back to the diner. Suge Knight is no longer there.
Under cross-examination, James acknowledged a past incident where he grabbed the wrists of a female chef in an argument at Combs' Star Island home. When he told Diddy what had happened, he said Combs responded, quote, "You can't be putting your hands on women." Cassie's mother speaks.
We also heard from Cassie's mother, who testified about a payment that she wired to Diddy after Cassie told her that he was threatening to release 2 sex tapes.
Regina Ventura, mother of Cassie Ventura, testified that in December 2011, she received a phone call from her daughter who said Diddy was threatening to release explicit tapes and have her and her then-boyfriend, Kid Cudi, physically harmed. Regina also testified that Combs contacted her around the same time, demanding $20,000 to, quote, recoup money he claimed to have invested in Cassie.
She said that Diddy demanded that she pay $20,000, as you said, because he was upset that Cassie was with another man. That would be Kid Cudi. And he said, I spent $20,000 on your daughter, so you better pay it back.
Regina said he appeared angry about Cassie's relationship with Cudi. When she and her husband took out a home equity loan to raise the money and sent it to Combs, the funds were returned without explanation just 5 days later.
But she talked about taking photos of her daughter in 2011 when she came home to Connecticut for the Christmas holidays, and that she was shocked to see the bruises on her daughter's body, that she hadn't been aware that her daughter's relationship with Combs had been violent at this point.
Exotic dancer Punisher testifies.
Mr. Hayes told the jury that he got his nickname playing basketball, but his photos, they seem to tell a different story for why he may be using that name today.
Sheree Hayes, a former exotic dancer known as the Punisher.
Oh, former? I didn't know he was a former. I thought.
You thought he was still?
Yeah, because remember when we first heard, it was like, who the Punisher? When we looked it up, like, he steal his profile on Instagram and stuff. We was like, oh. I said,
I didn't look at the dates and stuff for when it was taken out.
We ain't go deep diving like that.
I was like, oh, okay.
He said, oh, the Punisher. I said, oh, he looked like a, you know what I'm saying?
Because that's the picture I seen.
Yeah. That was the first joint we came across. Said,
I see what you on. But yeah.
It's a lot of shit going on.
That he was hired by Cassie Ventura in the fall of 2012 for what he believed would be a birthday striptease. Upon arriving, Hayes said he was told that the couple instead preferred creating a, quote, sexy scene involving baby oil. He was given a stack of cash and instructed to follow Ventura's lead, while hearing directions from her, quote, husband.
This was his first foray as an escort, but says he would never participate in the so-called freak-offs had he thought Cassie was being coerced.
Because a lot of escorts said they didn't get that from her, like that she was being coerced
from the one
or forced. My bad.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you go. You said from the ones.
I was just kind of chiming in with you. I was like, from the ones that have come
and testified
so far. Yeah, it was kind of more so like.
And they asked about the drugs. They said, "Do you believe Cassie was?"
And most of them was like,
no. She appeared to be sober. One time, one of them did say one time, possibly because she was passed out.
And I spoke on that with you.
Yeah. And that could have been that case, but
because I was like, well, did you still proceed?
Then
if she was passed out, because that's another story. That's a whole different situation.
That's a forced act on you.
Like. And like I also said, if someone is also under the influence of anything, and you feel that they are under the influence, and even if they are, awake or whatever, but they're still considered,
And another thing I know a lot of people are questioning is how involved was Cassie really in these situations? Was she really an accomplice in these situations, because each man said, I was not approached by these situations. I was approached by Cassie.
You were approached
by Diddy in these situations. I was approached by Cassie. During the first initial of everything, it was all Cassie. Now, I know somebody would be like, well, she was coerced. She was told to do this. But also, there's text that shows an indication that she has asked for the freak off first. She's the one who initiated, hey, I want to do a freak off. Diddy's like, oh, you do? Well, set it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm down if you down. So now my thing is, how big of a role did you have? I don't want to look at it from a now standpoint, but I'm trying to look at it from at that moment standpoint, because also she never indicated that she never said no to any of them. She also said she was willing to do whatever because she loved him. Now, we all do know men and women do stupid, weird things because they're in love. That's understandable. But to me, that's different. If I'm in love with you, I'm in a relationship with you, I do these stupid, weird things with you because we're in a relationship. Then 5-10 years later, since now we're out of that relationship, now I want to go sue you because that ain't what I was into. I was head over heels in love with you, and I did it out of love. To me, that's like crime victim, and not trying to say like, you know what I'm saying, but it's like crime victim for some things that you was willing to be a participant in. But not victim blaming or anything in that light. But I'm like, you can't say, hey, I normally don't spend $50,000 on women, but I was so head over heels, but I want my $50,000 there. You like,
or you could just more so like, now you regret.
Yeah,
you regret now.
Yeah, hindsight, looking back at it, you regret it.
Yeah,
and you want to be compensated for it. Like, now I want my $50,000 back because I spent all the, you know. I don't know. That's how I look at it, but.
Hayes stated he was hired between 8 and 12 more times, with some occurring on consecutive days. During these encounters, Hayes said Cassie never refused a direction from Combs, and he observed no signs of discomfort, violence, filming, or intoxication from either party.
Filming?
He said it didn't seem as though Cassie was there against her will.
He did, however, mention feeling, quote, pressure himself, recalling that in 2016 he was unable to perform.
Damn, that's 4 years. Because he first got booked in 2012. He said in 2016 he was unable to perform. Y'all got to see excerpts out his book, too. or the things he thought Diddy was saying.
Oh, yeah.
You forgot about that? It was
I
his
forgot
book.
that it was him. Yeah. But
It's out of his book.
Crazy.
After which he was never contacted again. When questioned about developing feelings for Ventura, Hayes denied having any emotional connection or relationship with her.
Was it intimidating sitting in front of him telling the story?
It was not, because the story is honestly what happened.
Special agent testifies on Diddy's home raid.
Special Agent Gerard Gannon showed the jury items he testified were seized from Combs' Miami Beach home, including lubricant, lingerie, and loaded assault rifles.
Special Agent Gerard Gannon of Homeland Security Investigations testified about leading the March 25, 2024 raid on Sean Diddy Combs' Miami Beach home. He explained that the search was delayed until 3 p.m. because agents waited for Diddy to leave for a planned family trip. A vehicle was then used to breach the front gate, something the defense questioned the need for.
So they've showed images of the broken gate. They talked a lot about how maybe some of the evidence wasn't properly photographed. And so they were trying to poke holes in how the evidence was collected.
During the search, agents discovered various personal items, including high heels, adult toys, baby oil, lubricant, and lingerie.
What the prosecutors called freak-off supplies, including baby oil, lubricant, and rubber ducks.
They also recovered various firearms, some loaded, some not, and ammunition. Gannon showed the jury photos of the weapons, noting that their serial numbers had been scratched off. Various types of illegal substances and pills were also recovered.
Jurors are really getting an inside look here at what authorities say they seized from his home last year.
Psychologist provides expert testimony. Psychologist Dawn Hughes, who previously testified in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, took the stand as an expert witness. Drawing from her personal experience, Hughes explained that abuse victims often stay with their abusers due to feelings of entrapment, shame, degradation, and financial dependence.
She spoke directly to the jurors, really, almost as if she was speaking to them as if they were the only ones in the room.
She noted that victims may have fragmented memories, downplay their experiences, and turn to substances to cope.
And this really speaks to Cassie Ventura's testimony last week when she talked about why she decided to come forward in November of 2023 with that civil lawsuit, which really sort of jump-started this criminal investigation.
During cross-examination, Hughes was made to emphasize that her testimony was not based on the specifics of this case. As she clarified, she had not personally evaluated anyone involved. Another ex-assistant testifies.
A former employee of Combs who was granted immunity in exchange for his testimony.
After receiving immunity for his testimony,
because I think he got immunity, and I think the other one had a proffer agreement. I know somebody had a proffer and somebody had a. I think for a fact he had immunity, and I think they insinuated that the other one had a proffer agreement.
Another of Diddy's former assistants, George Kaplan, took the stand. He said his duties included running errands and preparing hotel rooms for Combs, which he stocked with candles, alcohol, baby oil, and lubricant.
The first time he unpacked his bag, he said he found baby oil, Astroglide, candles, and liquor. The other times, he'd have to buy the items on his corporate card.
He says he was also tasked with, quote, tidying up after the freak-off sessions.
And often threw out empty baby oil bottles and once threw out a powdery crystal substance.
Kaplan recalled seeing Combs get violent with Cassie on a private jet in late 2015, though he didn't observe visible.
No, it might have been the other one. I can't remember which one was stealing. Yeah. He might be the one that saw him throwing the apple like they baseballs. The green apples. But it wasn't at Cassie, it was at the other one.
Injuries. He also described an incident where Combs allegedly threw apples at another girlfriend at his Miami Beach home. He concluded that he, quote, desperately didn't want to testify and holds no ill will towards Combs, despite a, quote, complicated relationship. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said some of them, like, they don't feel any type of way about Diddy. They don't feel any type of way about the relationship. That was, which one? Because one of them said they left because of fear. No. It wasn't because of fear. It was because his dad got sick. I think that was the other one that testified, said his dad got sick with prostate cancer.
Well, at first she said it was because he was tired of buying, I guess.
But it's two different ones, though.
And it's so many people, and without me having, like...
Because you ain't seen their face.
Yeah, without me, like, putting a name to the face at the moment, then sometimes it's hard for me to remember who said what. So I have to, like, go back. I don't want to, like, say, you know. But yeah, his dad had got sick with cancer, right?
And switch on notifications. Kid Cudi's explosive testimony.
Rapper Kid Cudi testified today about 2 incidents that he alleges involved Sean Combs.
Kid Cudi, born Scott Mescudi, testified about his brief relationship with Cassie Ventura, which began in 2011. He said Ventura confided in him about Combs' abusive behavior. He went on to say that after Diddy allegedly found out about their relationship, Ventura warned Cudi that he was enraged. Cudi and Cassie then talked with one of Combs' employees, who appeared shaken, and said he and his associates were inside Cudi's home. Allegedly, Diddy later admitted he was there, claiming he just wanted to talk. When Cudi returned home, he noticed his security cameras had been moved, gifts were unwrapped, and his dog was locked in a bathroom. He reported the incident to police. A month later, his car was set on fire in what he described as a, quote, Molotov cocktail attack.
Babysitter for his dog called him and said, your car's on fire. And when he arrived, the police were there taking photos, taking evidence at the time, but no one has been charged in connection to that incident, Morgan.
Though he suspected Combs, the defense countered that the only DNA recovered belonged to a woman. Cudi said he never received a follow-up from investigators. He later confronted Combs at a hotel, describing him as a, quote, Marvel supervillain, as he denied involvement in the fire.
They all met at the Soho house, made amends. Cudi asked him about the car at the time, and Combs denied knowing anything about it. But Kid Cudi did say that years later, Combs apologized to him.
Cudi and Ventura ended their relationship.
But that's not admitting.
Apologize to him for about what?
Not about the car. And that's the reason why, if you're gonna play it all the way out. He didn't admit for the car. He admitted for the way he treated him through the whole situation.
Relationship in late 2011 due to the, quote, drama and fears for their safety. He further admitted that he felt like Cassie, quote, played him. Have you been following the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs?
I did hear that
What
part.
do you make of...
But
He felt like, yeah.
She could have, though. Like,
Yeah,
also, like, Kid Cudi ain't the only man that she was attached to or supposedly was in communication with during the freak offs. There were other individuals she was supposed to have been involved with as well outside of Diddy during her tenure of being in a relationship with him. So I don't know, man.
And you probably could just feel that way because I thought we was something, and then
Some
you
of
go
the
back
escorts
to him.
kind of start catching feelings. So I don't know, man.
I don't know. Like I said, we'll see how everything plays out. More information comes out, and
It's only been 2 weeks.
yeah, and
It's supposed to be an 8-week case, and the defense hasn't laid their case. We still hearing from the prosecutors.
yeah.
The defense then gets to turn to lay their case and call their witnesses. So right now it's just all the prosecutor witnesses, and it's getting juicy though. I can't wait to next. But I do feel like it's gonna be a lot of more bombshells drop. I know they got some tucked away, ready to come. So
Yeah.
I'm ready for those too. But right now, I'm still on the fence. I can see why people will say he's guilty, and you know what I'm saying. I ain't got no dog in the fight. It ain't got nothing to do with me. But if you lean towards guilty, I understand. If you lean towards innocent, I understand. If you lead to a hung jury, I 100% understand.
Yeah.
I have no dog in this fight, and there's so much, but there is a lot of hearsay and not factual information, and you can't convict somebody off of hearsay. But like you always say, that's up to the attorneys to make that be known that it's hearsay or speculation and not actual facts. And
like I say, like when we have our private conversations, if everyone was a willing participant in the FOs and stuff like that,
at some degree, I'm saying at some degree, like willing participant at some degree, whether it's setting up or you the one who's involved.
I'm just saying, if you are a willing participant, whatever, some degree, however, and that there's no crime of being a freak. Yeah. Everybody is of age, and if that's the case.
Some people free one night, people free 7 days a week.
But if other factors and stuff like that you were doing, or we see the video as far as like the DV and stuff like that, then yes, you are. But that's not what the case is on per se. So.
And I wish I could talk to y'all about that video because, like the way I look at it, and I attack the video, I'm not, and I don't dismiss about abuse. I'm talking like the abuse is there. I'm not speaking about that. I'm talking about like other aspects of it. Like I'll be like really having a conversation with people about like the concept of the video, what really was going on before, after, like all that. Like just trying to understand the dynamic of what's going on and what led up to it and all that. But
like I said, we'll see how everything unfolds.
Y'all spam us up, man. Let us know some more juicy stuff is to come. So y'all make sure y'all we try to touch up on it as much as we can, man. We get the information the same way y'all do as well. We're not there. But as always, let us know y'all thoughts and opinions down below. But until next time, I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are. We out.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my partners.